Welcome to the final special episode of Arcade Review, Summer of Arcade 2010. This is the final week, and released is Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. Was it worth putting it in the last slot, or has Lara lost her appeal? Lara Croft has gone through a complete makeover in her new adventure. The camera is no longer in the third person behind the character type of view. Instead, this view is more like zombie apocalypse. It really works well for the game, as it showcases the nice textures that have been put into the game, but also hides the slightly less textured Lara of this incarnation. Lara herself doesn't look like she usually does, and seems to have lost a certain aspect. I can't quite put my finger on it. But anyway, the levels look really good, and the details are in those levels. The enemies especially have a demonic charm to them, and the beginning and end comic-like cutscenes give the game a new feel. An 8.75 out of 10. The new control scheme for this Lara Croft game works well for this style. Use the left analog stick to move Lara, and the right to point her weapon, with right trigger to shoot. This works well as there is a lot of action to this title, as well as a lot of platforming, which is also done very well. There are some moments where frustration may come into play, but it's more or less the kind of frustration you'd want from the title. You want a little bit of challenge, but not so much that you just turn the game off. This does a good job of giving you a good challenge without having you scream at your TV. An impressive 9.5 out of 10. While this title doesn't have any award-winning music that makes you feel a sense of pride, make you want to weep, or make you want to run out and buy the soundtrack, the music in this title is sufficient and complements the gameplay very well. The ambience is especially well done during the challenge rooms where you have to unlock new abilities. It keeps you on your toes as you try to figure out what exactly you need to do. A 9 out of 10. The story, for an arcade game, is pretty decent. Lara has found a special mirror that's been used to keep a demon at bay, but after some fellow treasure hunters get to it first and unleash its power, a man named Totek is released to stop the demon with the help of Lara. You can play in single player or with a friend for co-op. However, right now on Xbox Live, co-op is restricted to only one system, and not through Xbox Live itself. This is going to change in about a month. The story is slightly different when playing between co-op and solo, one of the things being that Lara gets Totek's spear to use since he won't be around. The story is entertaining while not being overly cumbersome. A 9 out of 10. The great thing about this title is that it has a lot of challenges, some of them not even attached to achievements. When a title has challenges that you wish to complete without any kind of reward like gamer score or avatar awards, it makes you realize it's a good title. However, at the same time, you might find yourself only going back through certain chapters and not others because obviously some are more entertaining than others, and not all the challenges bring that greater reward within the game. An 8.75 out of 10. The achievements are pretty standard and all relatively feasible. Beating the game obviously, finding all the red skulls in a level, doing a level specific challenge. These are all things that get done without detracting from the game itself. You can keep playing the title while you achieve these, and that's what makes the game more fun. Because you don't feel like you're grinding a certain achievement and going through the same thing over and over and getting bored. You can do this while you're playing through the story. A 9 out of 10. So is Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light worth picking up? In my opinion, definitely. Of all 5 of the Summer of Arcade titles, this one seems worth the most out of your $15 or 1,200 Microsoft points. It's got a lot of game time to it and a lot of exploring. Overall, a 9 out of 10. So if you're thinking to yourself, I haven't picked up any of the new Summer of Arcade titles, which one should I spend my money on? From my opinion, if you want a game that's a wonderful single-player title, Limbo is definitely your title to get. If you want great multiplayer, while it sometimes has issues, Castlevania is my multiplayer choice of the summer. And if you want an overall cool game that has a lot to offer, Lara Croft is the one to go for. These would be my top 3 picks from this Summer of Arcade. While they were all awesome, I personally find myself playing those 3 titles the most. Thanks for watching this final Arcade Review special Summer of Arcade. Until next time, keep on gaming.